Evening, everybody. That's good. Let me just check if Sharon's on. Just give me a sec. Right, everybody. Right. Good evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me. I know we've got a bit of a problem with my chat not loading, so I'm going to hope that you're all there. And if you've got questions at the end, then we'll do it via Facebook at the end. Okay, so if you have notes available, and then make your notes, and at the end of it, we will then speak on Facebook. Okay, so let me get back to the beginning. Okay, well, welcome to your induction. The induction is all about is helping you to grow your business, and we want to go through what we call an overview of how the business operates. So, welcome to your induction. Now, you might find this weird, but there's for some reason about 30 or 40-second lag. So what you're hearing me say is what I said 30, 40 seconds ago. So, as I said, at the end of it, we'll have a chat on Facebook if you have any questions. But every single person who joins our team goes through an induction. Now, when you've joined this business, you've joined for a reason. You've joined basically to make some money, change your life, build yourself a business, whatever it is, but it's your goals. And you've got to remember those goals, because you're going to get loads of people challenge you about them. You're going to get friends saying, well, don't know what you're doing that for. Nobody ever made any money from that. If they told you they make money from that, they're lying. You're going to get pessimists who say, well, it's right for them. Society in general don't understand, you know, the way that we operate. I mean, we've had this training from Royal Forster that says, you know, what do you do for it? I'm a bricklayer. You know, we wouldn't go around saying, oh, what, you'll put bricks one on top of another and belittle them. But people do tend to belittle us. So don't worry about that. You've got to make sure that you're going to be, you know, relatives are going to try and put you off. You might even have guilt, you know, occasionally if you're actually trying to, you're running your business and you're not acting out with friends, or you're not doing this or you're not doing that. And you may have fear about the unknown. What I'll tell you is we've got a box of catalogues, we give them to people, we show other people how to do the same. And you can make a lot of money doing it. So make sure your goals are always at the forefront of your mind. Every single one of us joins with what we call a success kit. And the kit is what you make of it. We use the acronym from KIT for keep in touch. Keep in touch with your business. Read everything. Now, that doesn't mean go through every single piece of paper, etc., etc. We used to get manuals in our guide. We don't anymore. You download the manuals from the new sales distributor support arena. Blimey. Under the operations tab, just download them, but make sure you've actually got them. Also, make sure you watch the Clean Easy Start and Growing Your Business. Read the company bulletins. Every Friday you get what we call an EWB. The EWB, Enterprise Weekly Bulletin, gives you information about what's happening in the business. And you also get the Team Magazine. Team Magazine is a magazine that comes every month, tells you what's happened in the previous month. You can use it for showing other people. As soon as you hit the first bonus levels, you appear in that magazine. If you've got one, set up your voicemail. I don't think most of you will have, but when you start to build a team, you may well want a voicemail. You also personalize your own websites. Make sure it's got your details on it. And if you haven't got one, I know most of you have, set up a Facebook account for online product promotion. and also join the Facebook support group. Now, when you first start, you have a 30-day challenge. The 30-day challenge is designed to help you get off to a flying start. Every time you place £150 worth of orders, you'll receive one kit containing 50 books and 50 specials. Once you hit the £600 worth in your first 30 days, you get an extra 50, giving you 250 sets. We always recommend that when you do your first one, you get, or you use the K-Live catalogues. All right. At the moment, their selection, I think you get 100 of them. Now, there's an advantage of going out and doing £600 worth of orders, apart from getting your own story and also all these extra catalogues. You then know it's possible to do that. Most people do that. But if you want to start building a team and you introduce 30 distributors in a 12-month period who do that, the company will give you a mini for a year. You don't have to pay for anything other than petrol. That's quite a good incentive. Now, when you join Clean Easy, we talk about education, learning about the business. Now, once you become what we call, well, when you go to school, you get employed. You get educated so you can get employed. You can tell that I'm not having a very much night. There you go. Oh dear. Anyway, state education gets you a job, gives you basic education. However, there are lots of people out there who don't want just a basic education, they want a career. And they decide to go to night school, they decide to go to university, things like that. And because they make that decision, we class that as self-education, and that can give you a lifestyle. Now, Clean Easy is no different. If you want to be good at it, understand it. And you do that by attending events, webinars, trainings, sizzles, little get-togethers. But also, you can study yourself. Now, in your kit, if you join with a big kit, you will have got the GoPro book. Read the first 2 chapters and then speak to your sponsor about the first 2 chapters. But there are lots of other books that we recommend. The Network Coach, How It Really Works, Now It Can Work For You, Skill with People, Attitude is Everything, The Art of Dealing with People, and a 45-second presentation. If you're going to start out, I'd get the book that says How It Really Works, Now It Can Work For You by John and Hazel Stevens. John and Hazel, John was a fisherman and they were in Scotland, and his fishing boat broke down and he ended up £100,000 in debt, and he had to travel nearly 300 miles across Scotland trying to find work. Struggling like mad, ended up with the bailiffs knocking on the front door, just hadn't got enough money to buy a bottle of milk, and basically started to look for everything and came across network marketing, which is the industry we're in, and now they earn about £12,000, £13,000 a month. And they wrote a book on how they did it, and funny enough, they're friends of ours and they are Clean Easy distributors, so I would recommend that you get that book. We also run business top meetings all over the UK, and when we started, that's how we built our business. Now you can use the op meetings, both we run online ones and hotel events, to build your business by taking along guests. Now it's quite important you keep in touch with your sponsor. Your sponsor is the person who introduced you into the business. So keep in touch with them. Keep in touch with your upline gold. Now your sponsor will be able to tell you what upline gold is. I know online tonight there should be Simon, when I'm your upline, there should be David, and once again I'm your upline gold, and your own team if you build one. If you're not sure who your upline gold is, please ask. But above all, please be coachable. Take advice from those who are most successful in the business. Don't reinvent the wheel. We have a system that works. All you're going to do is waste valuable time. I went to the King Power Stadium on on Saturday to see Leicester play West Ham. And the way we got there, we went down the main road. Now, we could have gone across the fields and everything else, but we found it easier to use the road system that would have been laid for us. And that's what we're trying to tell you. We have a system that's been proven to work. Don't try and create a new one. There's no point. Yeah, the idea is to duplicate. Don't innovate, duplicate. Become a good student of our system. Now, you'll always have questions. If you come up with an idea, pass it by the team first. Now, we have our own group on Facebook for our system. There are other groups out there, Cleansing Success and Hints and Tips for Cleansing. Ask on our group first before you go off to other groups. We can share information among ourselves and help each other. Now, there are 3 ways you can earn with Clean Easy. First way is by a retail distributor, and that can both be online or via the catalogs. The catalogs face-to-face are always going to be much stronger because you build a relationship up with customers. But now we've got the advantages of online sales. Then there's our team leaders. They're doing some retailing and showing other people how to do the same. And they're going to earn more. And then there's building a residual income. What's a residual income, hear you ask? It's an income where you get getting paid every month, even if you don't work, for the effort you put in earlier. Peter and Jackie White joined us, and in their first month, I think they made £56, £57. They now earn £17,000 a month. Now, that isn't based on what they do now. It's based on what they did when they first started in helping other people to get started. You have to remember, you don't build a big income overnight. It takes time. So we start off with our retailing. That's taking our catalogues, put out through letterboxes. The first thing you need to do is plan. Where you're going to drop them, when you're going to drop them, and how you're going to drop them. Might sound a bit strange. Where, how, when, how? Well, let's take my mum, for instance. She's 72 years old. Now, she wants to put out 250 catalogues. She doesn't drive, so she's going to have to do it all on foot. So she's going to have to plan where. Now, we recommend you turn out to your front door, left or right, and start putting out catalogues. The closer to home you are, the better and easier it is. You've got people who will know where you are, and you haven't got so far to travel. When? You don't put the catalogues out unless you can pick them up the following day. Now, later on, when you've got customers, you will leave them for a longer period. But at the moment, you just leave them for one day. And how? Like I say, my mum wants to put 250 catalogues out. How's she going to do it? Doesn't drive, so she has a trolley. You have to organise yourself to work out how you're going to do it. Now, when you first start, we recommend the minimum starting plan is to do 400 catalogues a week. Why is this? Well, we know if you could put 400 catalogues out a week, you're going to get orders. You get orders, you're going to get more free catalogues, and you're going to get a fantastic starting story. Now, that can be done in these different ways. 4 drops of 100, 3 drops of 150, 2 drops of 200, whatever. But try to do a minimum of 400 catalogues. Now, when you go retailing, you get a map of your local area, and you do one of 2 things. Either a blanket drop, which is just putting catalogues through doors, or you do tap and tell. Tap and tell is simply knocking on the door and saying, "Hi, it's Andy. I'm just leaving you your Clean Easy or your K-Life catalogue. I'm back tomorrow. So if you could just leave it outside for me to stay disturbing you, thanks, bye." No selling, just giving them the catalogue. There's actually a training on how to do tap and tell, and the link is in your welcome pack. Now, there is a website called hopewiser.com. Hopewiser, you just go in there, put in a street name, and it will tell you how many houses are in that road. We don't prejudge houses. We don't second guess who's going to buy and who's not. We give them to everybody. Now, a person may not order you from 3 or 4 months, may well order from you further on, and be some of your best customers. Some of our best customers haven't ordered from us till about the 5th or 6th time round. Why is that? Some people are not sure about you. Are you going to be reliable? Been let down in the past, want to see that you're going to be reliable. What you don't want to get is what we call flititis. Flititis is a disease that afflicts people. In other words, they go out their front door, they put 50 catalogues out one direction, Then they go down a few roads and put another 50 catalogues out. Then they go to another area and get 50, and they're not covering the area properly. Our averages will only work if you cover an area properly, because you might be missing out whole swathes of houses that may be your orders. I mean, I've often had it when I've been out doing leafleting, and I've had 200 odd catalog leaflets, put loads out, and I've got 2 left. And some people are like, oh, I'm not going to start a new road, but we did. We put 2 slips through 2 houses on a particular road, and what happened? Sod's law. One of the last 2 people we gave the leaflet to rang us back and joined. So the same happens with your catalogues. And what we do is we ignore other agents. We don't worry about other distributors and what they're doing. Also, we ignore customers. You'll get customers saying to you, you won't get any orders around here. We have got such and such coming. Well, they don't realise it's the way that we work, that such and such has probably got a customer base. And therefore, if you're anything like us, in our road, there's about 60 houses, but we only service 3 of them. Those 3 people may think that everybody's getting a catalogue because they're getting a catalogue. Well, that's not the case. Only they're getting the catalogue. So ignore other agents and their customers. Now, this is how it more or less works. This is week 1. And what this area is covering is 400 houses. And it's also circled in red, in case you've got colour blindness. Okay. And what you do is you cover that area. 4 weeks later, you're going into the next area. All right. This is now green, but you'll still be working in the first area. Why is that? Because you'll be picking up catalogues that you haven't got back. You'll be delivering goods, etc., etc. Then it's the 3rd area and the 4th area. And then you're back into week 1 again. Now, in week 1, you'll have come across some nasty people who don't want your catalogue, are throwing the book back at you, maybe even sworn at you. That's good, because you've got rid of all the idiots. And this always happens in your first 4 weeks. You come across all the people you don't want as customers, because you're actually looking for the people who do want you as customers. Now, if you still want to put 400 catalogues out in that area, then you may need to expand your area slightly, because it might be 20 or 30 houses you're not going to service anymore. And you keep doing that for 6 months. Now, there's a few hints and tips on how to build a customer base up. First of all, respect property. When you go through a gate, close it behind you. Don't walk across the grass, walk down the path. Don't jump over the gates and over the fences. You know, respect their property. Above all, be reliable. If you go to a house and you say you're going to call back the following day, you need to call back the following day. How would you feel if you gave somebody a catalogue and you said you're going to call back the following day, and I decided to place an order with you for 30 quid, and that distributor didn't turn up the next day when they said they would? Would you still want to give that customer your business, sorry, that distributor your business? Would you be happy that that person is actually going to deliver the goods when they said they would? That they would turn around, and if you had a faulty item, not question it, but turn up at your house? You need to be reliable. You also need to use callback slips. Whenever you go to a house and the book isn't outside on the first day, you do not knock on the door and ask for it. You put a little callback slip through, which says, I called for your catalogue, it wasn't outside, I'll be back again tomorrow. Why? Because we're trying to teach distributors customers how we work as distributors. Also, you may have this scenario. You knock on the door and a lady comes to the door and you say, hi, I'm Andy from Clean Easy. I just wondered if you finished with the catalogue. And they say, oh, yes, actually, I haven't had a chance to look at it. There was something in here, but I haven't had a chance to have a look at it, like I said. And I turn around to them and say, that's not a problem. I'll be back again tomorrow. Keep it, and oh, it's all right. I'll do it next time. And what you've done is you've actually taught yourself out of an order. By putting a callback slip through, your call to action, they know that you're coming back the following day. And all the callback slip says is, sorry, I missed you. Please leave it outside for me when I call back tomorrow. Make sure, however, you don't push your fingers through letterboxes when you're putting these slips through, because little doggies like fingers. As it says there, call back when you say you will. Your job is to give the best service around. Now, if you look at companies like Tesco's, they have lots of different branches. You might choose to shop at a particular one. I think there's about, in Leicester, for instance, there's about 3 or 4 superstores, and you might choose to go to a different one over another. Why is that? Because the ambience. You feel more comfortable in that particular shop. You want people to feel comfortable with you. People will buy from people they like. Presentation is everything, not just yourself, but your catalogues. Make sure that if they're feeling a bit iffy or a bit dirty or sticky, you change them. If they've got holes in, change them. You are giving people a representation of yourself in a plastic bag. Make sure your brochures are all labelled so they can contact you if they want to. Now, you may go to an area and the same special is available as it was last month, so you might want to change it. Open up the catalogue, fold it over and promote a different product. This allows you to also be different from every other distributor, because most distributors will just see the main, the front page. You can change it like a shop window. Make sure on your order form that you write your name and address at the top, and make sure that this collection tickets telling people when you're going to collect the book are at the front. Now, best thing to do is to plan your time to pick up and drop on the same day. What do I mean by that? Well, you put out your catalogues, and I can guarantee you now that 60 to 70% of them won't even be looked at. It's just the way it is. If you think about it, Asda do loads and loads of TV adverts, but do everybody that sees the advert actually go to the shop? No, they don't. It's a very small percentage, and that's all you're aiming for. So 60 to 70% of people aren't going to look at your catalogue, so they're going to be outside the next day. You pick it up, it says tomorrow on it, you just give it to somebody else. You haven't got to take it home. It just means your catalogues are working harder. However, if the catalogue's been looked at, make sure you check all the order forms for addresses. Sometimes people fill out an order form, put the order form back in, and don't write their address on it. You suddenly get home, find the order form with its £40 order, and you have no idea where you picked it up from. Now, if it so happens that you can't find the order form because it's tipping it down with rain, or it's dark, or it's whatever, simply put a little note with the address of the house in that bag, and then when you get home you can have a proper look. Obviously don't give that to somebody else until you've had a proper look. And make sure you replace any dog-eared and torn catalogues. Once again, it's about standards. But also remember that if you've got catalogues sitting in your house, they're not going to sell anything. Now, when you go to a house, you may well not get any orders. As I just said to you, 60% of people won't even look at the catalogue. So what we do is, we're going to already at the front door anyway. We put a little note through. It says, thanks for returning your book. If you would like one of our brand new K-Life catalogues featuring low-cost branded products, please call here, with your details. Now, the thing about this is, you're giving people the opportunity to give you a call for the other catalogue, or maybe even go on your website. You're losing nothing by it. As I said, you're already at the front door anyway. So your job over the next 6 months is to build a customer base, whatever size that wants to be, depending on how much money you want to earn. We have people who do over £10,000 a month in personal sales simply because they want the money. We work a full weekly cycle. That means we got customers in 13 times a year. We record all our customers on a separate sheet, and we use a wet book, basically a little blue one that you get from the company, or one you get from us if you get your day slips from us, which records where your catalogues are. Now, each column is only for each 4 weekly cycle. Some people use the different columns for each time you go to a house. You do that, you're going to fill up the book very quickly. Now, aim for 1,000 customers. This is up to you. If you want £1,000 worth of orders a month, then you know that 1 in 10 people order. That means you need 100 customers. So if you have 100 customers, I guarantee you that at least 25% of those people will order every month, but you want 100 customers ordering. So you need 400 customers to guarantee you've got 100 customers ordering. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please talk to me. I'll go through it in more detail. Now, some of you might find this difficult, but you need to be reliable and friendly. People buy from people they like. You want to create a good reputation. You want people to big you up. You want to make sure customers know your name. Now, why is this important? Let's have a look. Let's say Heinz ketchup. Heinz ketchup, people buy that. In thousands and thousands of people buy that, but they never buy it from Heinz. They buy it from one of their distributors, and that could be Morrison's, it could be Sainsbury's, it could be Tesco's, it could be Waitrose. They don't buy it from Heinz. They buy it from one of their suppliers. And you are a supplier of Clean Easy products. Our customers don't buy from Clean Easy, they buy from Andy and Sharon. So they'll buy from you. You need to make sure they know it's you. Customers are loyal to you, not the brand. Become customer based. After 6 months, you will then cut out all the people who have not ordered from you or looked at the catalogue and only service them. Then you will go to dropping maybe on a Thursday or Friday and leaving it till Monday, because you know these people are interested. But what we do is after 6 months, we blanket drop the area again, mainly when the Christmas catalogue comes out, to pick up extra new customers. Now, this is what happens after 6 months. Remember, you're putting a minimum of 400 catalogues out. Now, you're probably only doing 100 catalogues in that same period. Same week 2, week 3, 4. So over 4 weeks, you're doing 400 catalogues. That's what you were doing in 1 week. So you're doing, in 1 month, you're doing what you used to do in a week. What some people will do is they will do week 1 and week 2 in week 1, and they'll do week 3 and week 4 in week 3. So they'll do 200 catalogues a week, and then they'll have 2 weeks for recruiting, team building, that type of thing. All right. Once you're customer based, you'll earn the same income and maybe a lot more, because people who are customer based tend to get a lot more orders for a lot less the time. There are some benefits of becoming customer based. You start to earn a lot more per hour. There's a reduction in time spent retailing. You hardly ever lose a catalogue. And straggler books, that's the books that have not been handed back, they're nearly eliminated. There's a little bit of a sense of achievement on 6 months, and it also is a nice little learner. Also, it validates everything your sponsor told you to do right at the beginning. You might question it at the beginning when we tell you to do things. But after 6 months, you'll have got there. Now, I want you to think about where you're going to be in 6 months' time. Okay? So, in 6 months' time, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be customer based and you're going to ignore other agents because you've got your own customer base. If you're going to do that in 6 months' time, to do that now. You'll concentrate on making sure all the people get catalogues, because you know you've been through all the hard work. You've now got people who want your catalogue, so you just make sure that they all get the catalogue, because the results will then take care of themselves. You will go back for every single outstanding catalogue because there's a potential of an order in it. You won't be reinventing the wheel because it got you to where you are. You will be persistent, you'll be consistent, and you won't listen to negative people who tell you it won't work, because you know it does. Now, all that's going to be you in 6 months' time. Take that now. Pardon me, I've got a dry throat. And do all this now. Now, the one thing that's guaranteed is if you don't look after your customers, somebody else will. Marks and Spencer's found this out. They stopped selling British-made products, and their point of difference was no longer there. So people went to buy the similar stuff for cheaper elsewhere, and Marks and Spencer struggled many a year. It's taken them years to get them back, and they've still never recovered. So you need to make sure you look after your customers. You need to have stickability because you will get good and bad pickups. We put our first 400 catalogues out and didn't get a single order. Did it put us off? Yeah, no. We knew the business worked because other people were making it work and they had the same catalogue. We just carried on. You'll bump into others. We had 7 distributors around by us when we started. Did it bother us? No. Well, it did, but you know what I mean. We were in it for the long haul. We knew we were going to lose some books when we first started. We didn't have the thing about getting some free catalogues, but it's just, you know, I had a shop and I lost a lot through shoplifting. It's just one of those things. There's the weather. After all, it is the UK. You have to just live with it. One day it could be foggy and misty and then rainy and snowy, thunderstorms, sunshine, and that could all be within an hour of one to the other. However, longevity pays dividends. The longer you're in it, the easier it gets. If you want to earn a professional's income, you need to learn to be professional. So we can plan our pay. The first question is, how much do you want to earn? And also is, how much do you want to earn now? We wanted to earn £2,000 a month, but we weren't in a hurry to earn, well, we were in a hurry, but we didn't need to earn that sort of money straight away. The second question then is, okay, having done that, how much do I need to retail to earn that money? And third question, therefore, is how many catalogues do I need to place? We have what we call a ready reckoner. Now, this is a ready reckoner, and it's highlighted here. It's a red band going across centre. Down the far side, it says total earnings every 4 weeks, £269.41. Somebody wants to earn 270 quid. So that we go down that column, and then we go all the way along the other side to where it says weekly orders and 40 volume. We need £1,000 worth of orders in a 4-week period. That means doing £250 worth of orders a week. If you did that, you'll earn £269. If you doubled that, 500, you don't double your income, you more than double, because your bonus level goes up. And that's the great thing about this business, you get higher volumes. There are some downsides, however. The first one is the clean, easy flop. This is where you put a catalogue through a door, you turn that around, and behind you, you hear as the person opens the front door and drops it back on the doorstep. Now, you've got 2 options. Either you decide, oh, I'll pick it up and give it to somebody else, which is what a lot of people do, or you do what one of my ladies did. She walked all the way down the drive, she turned around, closed the gate behind her, and she saw the husband, or the man of the house rather, come outside and put the catalogue outside behind the milk bottles. And I thought, oh, I'll tell you what, I'll leave it till tomorrow, because that's what I was going to do anyway. And she went back the following day, and there was the catalogue behind the milk bottles, but it had a £30 order in it. How could that possibly be? She saw the man put it straight back outside. Well, we don't know for definite, but what we think happened is that a person came to the front door and they saw the catalogue outside. Maybe the wife came home, a child came home, and they took the catalogue back in. And they filled out an order and put it back outside. So your choice, really. You're going to bump into other distributors. Now, let me explain something. Let's imagine you've got, I don't know, Let's Be Avenue. And at one end of Let's Be Avenue goes Sarah Green. She starts putting out catalogues. And in the other end is Sharon Bird. She starts putting out catalogues. And they're working on opposite sides. And halfway down, they meet each other. Sarah looks at Sharon. Sharon looks at Sarah. And they smile, grudgingly. Both thinking, what's that bitch doing here? No. But basically thinking, I don't really want you here. And what they do is they finish off their side of the road and then go off. Now, for some reason, when they pick their catalogues up, neither of them get a very good pickup. So what they decide is, Sarah thinks, oh, Sharon's doing this area. It's not very good pickup, so I'm not going to bother next month. And Sharon's thinking, oh, I didn't get a very good pickup. Sarah's already doing this area. I'm not going to do this area next month. And nobody does it because you're trying to outthink what everybody else is doing. And what happens is the customers don't see the catalogue regularly, and they think, oh, cleaners is not very good. You see them once and you never see them again. You're actually screwing your own business by trying to outthink other people. Just concentrate on what you're doing. Victor Meldrew. If you don't know Victor Meldrew, he's a grumpy old man. You put a catalogue through a door, and it's the worst thing you could have possibly ever done. And he comes out, oh, I don't want this rubbish. All you do is you smile at him sweetly. Say, oh, sorry about that, sir. No problem at all. In actual fact, you've done me a real favour. I was one short on this road, and that's really helped me out. God bless you, sir. Have a nice day and go on your way. However, please make a note so you don't go back there next month. Books. These bags are fantastic. They keep out the rain, but they won't if they've got holes in them and you haven't replaced them. Also, they've got zip seals on them. The problem with zip seals are that old age pensioners with lack of dexterity can't actually open them because they've caused a vacuum inside. So what they do is they get a pair of scissors and they cut the top off. We basically say to you, have a little hole in the top where there's a gap where the air can get in, so that it doesn't create a vacuum. So the other problem is we do have sunshine every now and again in the UK. And let's imagine you give somebody a catalogue and they put it straight back outside for you and it's blistering hot. Because it's sealed up fully, guess what? It acts as a greenhouse. And inside a greenhouse gets condensation, and condensation makes your catalogues all damp. So as I say, leave a little gap in the top. Wet distributors. You're going to get wet sometime. There is not a dispensation for you to not to rain on you. Sorry about that, but you know that's the way it is. You're not a true distributor until you've been wet to your knickers at least once. Just have good work habits. In actual fact, people feel sorry for you. Say this. I've had it before where people have said, they send you out in this weather. You know, as you get to customers, you know, people start to invite you in for a cup of tea, that type of thing. Binned books. And this is one of my favourite things. Not the fact that the books are binned. This is what happens. You go out, you put your catalogues out, you pick them up, and you keep picking a few up each time. And you end up with probably, I don't know, 10 you're struggling to get back out of every 100. Okay. And at those 10, you have to then start knocking on doors. And you knock on the door, and the person comes to the front door, and sometimes they turn around to you and say, I found it in the bin. I'm here today to tell you that 90% of the people who tell you that are liars. What do I mean by liars? Well, it means that they were watching EastEnders or something or other, something on the TV, and you've disturbed them. So they come to the front door and basically going to tell you whatever they think will make you go away. You don't really want them to tell you it's thrown in the bin, but that's what they're going to tell you. Now, the reason I know that some of these people are liars is because I've been to the front door, gone through the spiel, and they've said, oh, I found it in the bin. And I can see the catalogue on the stairs behind them. I pointed it out to them. Now, if somebody says to me they've thrown it in the bin, I don't get upset, although inside I am churning. I just turn around to them and say, oh, thanks for telling me that. Look, could you do me a favour? In the future, if you get a catalogue and you don't want it, instead of throwing it out in the bin, could you just leave it outside for me? Because we as distributors have to pay for our catalogues. Would you do that for me? Thanks very much. And what we tend to find is, by not being nasty, their customers are actually quite good and say, oh, I didn't realise that. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe we didn't throw it away, etc., etc. And we tend to get a lot of them back. However, I just see that 9 out of 10 are liars. That means that 1 in 10 actually are telling the truth and they're throwing it in the bin. Now, this is the way it normally goes. Not. Hi, it's Andy from Cleanings here. I just wondered if you finished with the catalogue. I told you last time. If you gave me one of these bloody catalogues, I was going to throw it in the bin. And guess what you did? You gave me a bloody catalogue. So it's gone in my bin. You're stood there looking at them, smiling, puzzled, thinking, I've never met you before, sir. You've never told me that to not come here again because I've never been here before. Well, they did, but they didn't. They spoke to the last cleaners distributor, and the last cleaners distributor didn't go back because he knew it was going to bin. And you followed him because he doesn't know it's you, he just knows it's Clean Easy. He's never going to be a customer. It's just one of those things. Just make a note and never go back again. I don't want a catalogue. Now this is quite interesting. I am not a sexist person, but in most houses there are one species. That's a house rather when there is a man and a woman. We tend to find that most of the shopping is done by the lady. However, you might be a bit like me. We have what we call magic cupboard fairies. What do I mean by that? Well, in our kitchen we have these cupboards, and every now and again they're filled with food. And over a period of time we eat all the food, and the cupboards gradually empty and empty and empty. Then one day I'll get home from seeing people, or I'll get up early in the morning and I'll find magically the magic cupboard fairies have been and they've restocked the cupboards. Now I believe it's the magic cupboard fairies, but it might indeed be my wife or my daughter even, who does some of the shopping. So if you go to a house and a man says to you, we don't buy from this catalogue, I generally tend to ignore it. However, if it's a lady that says it to me, I generally accept it. And I might ask them, is there any particular reason? Have you seen our new K-Life range? There's always a way around it. But, you know, if a woman is adamant, then don't give them a catalogue. For those who've been on Facebook group would have seen this happen recently. There was a posting, put a catalogue through a door and you hear it become a dog's dinner. Sometimes you get the catalogue back and it looks like a dog's dinner, and it's nothing to do with you. It's what's happened when it was in the house. Some people have doodled on it. There's foreign objects in the bag, such as Avon catalogues or Betterware catalogues or other flyers and stuff. You need to check through it every now and again. The worst thing we ever found was a fried egg in one of our bags. They obviously felt I was undernourished, but I can't see it myself. But just make sure you do check. Now, when you deliver your products, okay, your customers know when you're going to deliver. Okay, what we have is what we call thank you packs. So, go to the front door, we pick up an order. We got the K-Life catalogue. Now you can't do this on your first time round because you haven't got the K-Life catalogues. But as soon as you have, we put a note through with the K-Life book that says thank you for your order, value whatever it is. We just popped in our K-Life catalogue. It's new to the UK. The products at low prices, you'll be amazed. I'll deliver the catalogues when I deliver your products on such and such. Okay. What we found is we give them this book. One is communicating with them. We've got your order. This is when it's going to be delivered, so I'll have the money ready. Okay. We tend to find is when we deliver our goods, we get other orders from the K-Life catalogue. So it's not, you know, that's why we don't put the K-Life catalogues in with the main catalogue. We get this more than one order. But also, when you place your order, there are going to be certain things that are what we call consumable. Let's say an oven cleaner. Somebody buys an oven cleaner from you. You don't know when it's going to run out, how soon they're going to need another one. The customer will. The customer will know when they pick up the bottle and they find it nearly empty. So the little stickers that you put on your catalogues, you put them on the products when you deliver. So when they pick it out and they find out it's nearly empty, they've got your telephone number to ring you to order some more. So make sure that you put your stickers on all consumables. Smile and be patient. Not, who is it? It's Clean Easy Man. Got your order. I'll be with you in a second. 14 locks. Have change ready. If our orders say £4.99, we take a penny, a £5 note and a £10 note with us. Why? Because they give me a £5 note, I give them a penny change. If they give me a £10 note, I give them £5 a penny change. Give me a £20 note, I give them £15 a penny change. It's dead easy. We can also accept credit and stroke debit cards at the front door. All we do is ring this number, 01254 304 187. Now you obviously need to do it when when it's open. Monday to Friday 8 till 7, Thursdays 8 AM till 9:30. And all you do is ring that number and the service centre will take the payment. Now you need to have your mobile phone with you, because what they're going to do is they're going to send you a confirmation text to tell you that payment's been confirmed. Don't give them the goods until you've got that text. Now debit cards are always process free, whereas if they want to pay by credit card, it carries a 1.5% charge. So we don't recommend that people pay by credit card. Now, your trading account, the company give you £750 at cost trading account. That allows you to order up to £1,000 worth of stuff without having to fork out any money out your own pocket. It's only a 14-day account. That means you've got 14 days from when you're invoiced to getting the goods. After 14 days, if somebody hasn't delivered the goods, you should either pay for them or return them. Now, we've taught you through how to do returns if you've got any. Returning them doesn't mean physically returning them. It means setting them up on the computer so you tell the company that you're going to return them. Let's imagine a lady's got an order for £10 and the lady said, oh, I haven't got the money. I have money in a couple of weeks. You say, all right, I better get off my account. So you put it through as a return, but you don't physically send it back. The customer rings you up and says, I've got the money now. So you nip round and deliver the goods. The company will be expecting those goods back at some stage. But if you don't return them back, all they'll do is re-invoice you. Okay? Because you will get a credit prior to you returning the goods. But as I say, if you don't return the goods, then they'll just re-invoice them out. Your account, you've got to keep it in credit. If you don't keep it in credit, you go over the thing, you go on stop, you've got a real problem. Because for 3 months, you won't be able to apply for an increase. You can't buy any more products because you're on stop, etc. Don't take any chances. It's your business. Always pay the company first. At the end of the day, when your company are giving you goods on trust, it's not your money. It's their money. You take your percentage out. That's what I recommend to people. They're allowed to trade with their money to give you a positive cash flow. As I say, you have to keep in credit and retail regularly to warrant an increase. You can apply for an increase after 4 weeks, however. Now, they give you a trading account and they give you the goods. However, they have to make it cost effective. Let's imagine that we sell, I don't know, let's think of a product, a mug. Yeah, we sell, that's the only product we sell. And we've got 5 different distributors. Distributor 1 orders 40 of them. Distributor 2 orders 50 of them. Distributor 3 orders 40. Distributor 4 orders 60. And distributor 5, Andy, he orders 1. Now, it's obviously costing the company more money to deliver the 1 to Andy than the company's making. So do you think it's fair that distributors 1, 2, 3 and 4 subsidise distributor Andy? Well, no, it's not fair, because otherwise everybody would be ordering silly amounts. So you have to make it cost effective and say, look, Andy, you can have your 1. But if you have your 1, you're going to pay a handling charge. Now, your handling charge is £5.95. So you try not to do this. In your first 60 days in the business, when you're just learning your trade, every order over £150 is delivered free. There is a slightly different thing with drop shipping, but we'll talk you through that on a personal one-to-one basis. After 60 days, our orders over £250 are free delivery. I don't know if you've ever bought anything from QVC or anything like that. You'll tend to find that it costs you about that sort of amount for one little piddly little thing. So we do quite a good value. Now, I didn't join to put out catalogues, so I've got to be honest with you. I joined to make money. What I found was, however, I don't know if everybody else has done this, I only have 24 hours in my day. And it doesn't matter how hard I work, I still only have 24 hours. I can make more money, but I can't find more time. And the one thing I had was a lack of time. So I found a way of finding more time, and it's called leveraging. Now, I'm sure that most of you out there sometimes have had a job, and we refer to job as just over broke, J-O-B. Jump out of bed even when the alarm clock goes off. Let's imagine that Sarah joins the business and she decides she wants to build a team. And what she does is she introduces two people into her team. Now you find that people copy what they see. So her team members each signing two, who's signing two, who's signing two, who's signing two. And down 6 levels, she ends up with a team of 126 people. However, Sharon, she decides to sign in 3 people. And her team copy her, 3 by 3 by 3. Down the same 6 levels, she ends up with 1,092 people. There seems to be a big disparity in numbers, but there isn't. Not at all. The difference is 1. Each person introduced 1 more person, that's all. But as it multiplies, it makes a massive difference. Now let's imagine you worked in a job for 50 weeks in a year, and you worked for 40 hours per week. That means that you work for 2,000 hours in a job. So if you're being paid £6 an hour, that's 12 grand a year. £7 an hour, that's 14 grand a year, etc. Now, let's imagine after 5 years, you had a team of 1,000 people. And each of these 1,000 people worked for 2 hours in their business. You would benefit, therefore, from 2,000 hours being worked in your business every day. That's a year's productivity happening every day. Something you couldn't do yourself. Now, if you had 1,000 people and they each sold £1,000 in 6 months, you're going to see a lot of stories of people doing £1,000 a week. We're talking about not £1,000 a week or even £1,000 a month. We're talking about £1,000 in 6 months. You would turn over £2 million per annum in your business, and you'd be earning a minimum of £7,000 a month. Now, it's not easy. It's hard work and education. It is simple, however. So let me show you how that could work for you. You go out and do £1,000 worth of orders. Average time, when organised, will take you 10 to 15 hours a week. You will earn yourself 270 quid. That's £210 cash plus an extra £60 bonus, giving you 270 quid. May not sound a lot. All we then do is teach those 10 people how to do the same. And there you are with 10 people in your team. Group turnover is now 11,000. Each distributor is on a 10% bonus. You as team leader are now on a 24% bonus. We'll have to sort these slides out. The differential is 14%. They're on 10, you're on 24. You get paid the 14%. That gives you an income of about £1,300 a month. It's not bad, is it? Do £1,000 and earn yourself 270 quid. Do £1,000 and earn yourself 1,300 quid. I guess what most of you would like. Now, one thing I can guarantee you is that if you're earning that sort of money, if at least 1 or 2 people in your team would like to do the same. So, help one of your team to develop a team. There they are. And they've got a team of 6 people. They're on 21% bonus. You be on 24%, get paid 3% of 7,000. Yeah, definitely I'll sort these slides out. You did get 14% of 1,000. You're now getting 3% of it, 21%. Okay, of 7,000. Now, if you help one person do it, sorry, eventually they get to 24%. I'm losing myself because these slides aren't right. Right. Eventually they get to the same level as you. You're on 24, they're on 24. And the difference is 0. Now, you were being paid 21%. Sorry, when they were on 21%, you got paid 3%. Okay. The company give you a pay rise. What they say is, it's not fair that you don't get 0. We're going to pay you 4% of their business every month for the rest of your life. Now, if you've done it once, you can help somebody else do it. You now get paid an executive bonus of a further 3%. That's 7% on each business. That will earn you a minimum of £2,000 a month before you get out of bed. It's what we call residual income. For every extra business you build, you'll earn yourself around £1,000 a month. So, how big can it get? Well, if you build 3 businesses, you'll earn £3,000 a month. 4 businesses, £4,000 a month. 5 businesses, £5,000 a month, which equals 60 grand a year part-time, plus potential to earn cash bonuses, foreign trips, and cars. And once you become a gold distributor, in other words, you turn over £9,000 and you hold it for 10 months out of 13, you get a one-off cash bonus for 1,500 quid, which is quite nice anyway. You get something nice holiday or something for 1,500 quid. If you help 2 people become gold, not only are you earning £2,000 a month, you get the option of either having a free mini or a briefcase with 10 grand in it. If you help 5 people, remember I showed you that, 5 golds, not only are you earning £1,000 a week, you'll also get a choice of another car or £25,000 in cash. Hold that for 10 periods out of 13 and you get a choice of another car. Sorry, Premier. Premier is helping 5 of your team get cars or £10,000. So you have to help somebody else first before you get anything. That's the one thing I like about this business. You really have to help others. The one thing, however, is guaranteed you'll get nothing if you're one of those. Now that's your induction. Now you've also qualified now to attend a sponsoring workshop. Sponsoring workshop is designed to help you grow your business. Okay, help you show you the different ways that you can grow more people into your team, etc., etc. So the last question I have to ask you is, do you have any questions? And as I said, for tonight, while we're sorting out the chat facility, we have to do that on Facebook. So I'm going to stop the screen sharing. And I'm back on screen. So I hope you found that useful. I am now going to go on to Facebook, and I'll be there to answer any questions you might have. So I'm going to switch my camera off because I don't want you don't want to be looking at me all the while, and I will speak to you very shortly on the other side.